Good evening and welcome to Fridays by the Fire. I am your host and spiritual doula, Sandy Bestlack Jones, and I'm here to help you give birth to the purpose and the plan for your life through honoring God, honoring your body, and owning your worth. Now, tonight's fire is all about something that I've experienced in my own life, and hopefully by the end of today's episode, you will be able to say whether or not you've experienced too. The topic tonight is all about letting go of the need to prove your healing. I'm going to say that again. Letting go of the need to prove your healing. Because listen, you don't have to keep reliving what broke you to prove to other people or yourself that you've healed. And I don't know how many of you have ever gotten into the trap of ruminating thoughts about something that you went through that was traumatic, painful, disappointing, some kind of betrayal or um, a friendship or a relationship breaking up, whatever the case may be. It's really easy to fixate on what went wrong. And it can be difficult to finally have a change of mindset that allows you to focus on what's going right and focus on the lessons that you learned from whatever the disappointment or the trauma or the betrayal was so that you can move on with your life confidently. I've been through that. I've had to work through a lot of feelings of disappointment and pain and shame in my life. And what I know to be true is that once you finally let go of that anger, that disappointment, that sadness, that depression, whatever it is, once you finally decide to let go, that's when the healing can actually begin. So I want to ask you a question. Have you ever found yourself re explaining your pain to people who just still don't get it? It's kind of like they traffic in not understanding what it is that you're trying to say or what you're going through. Like they don't really want to. They don't see themselves in it. So they don't really try to understand it. Or maybe you have felt the need to keep forgiving out loud just to show that you're mature and that you've moved on. Or maybe you stayed connected to something or someone because you didn't want to look bitter or angry. Ooh, yeah. Been there. Hashtag been there. But that's not peace. That's emotional performance. And so I want to talk to you tonight about some ways that you can flip the script on that and start doing things a little bit differently. So there was a time in my life when I thought that healing meant I had to keep sitting at the table with people who broke me, that I had to keep inviting them into conversations, keep sharing my space, keep offering grace over and over and over and over and over again to prove I wasn't holding on to pain. But what I know now is this is what I know: real healing does not need an audience. I'm going to say that again. Real healing doesn't need an audience. Real healing is quiet. Real healing is sacred. And a lot of times it's invisible to the people who wounded you in the first place. They don't even see the healing process that you're going through because they're oblivious to how they contributed to the pain that you were in. In Isaiah 43:18 and 19, it says, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. So let me just kind of remix that for this moment that we're in. Stop performing for people who don't have access to the new thing God is doing in you. You know, I'm real big on repetition, so I'm going to say that again. Stop performing for people who don't have access to the new thing that God is doing in you. So I want to challenge you, and I'm going to ask you, who are you still explaining yourself to? Think about it. What pain are you still trying to manage publicly when God has already healed it privately? Child, listen, that hit me in the head several times. And I waver back and forth about how much to speak on, my divorce and other disappointments that I've had in my life. And so there's a lot about those seasons in my life that I don't share and that I don't talk about. But in the month of July, I am going to open up a little bit more about what my experience was like, watching that life that I had known for 40 years unravel. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in July, in hopes that any women that are listening who might have gone through the same thing or are going through the same thing can learn from my experiences and maybe avoid some of the pitfalls that I fell in because I wasn't really sure how to navigate that kind of breakdown of a relationship. I want to tell you this, my sister, in case you didn't know. You don't owe anyone an encore of your breakdown just because they missed the original scene. Yeah, you don't owe that to anyone, especially if you see them as the person that contributed to the breakdown, contributed to the betrayal, contributed to the pain, to the suffering, to the storm in your life that nearly took you out. You don't owe them an encore. You owe yourself the right to move on with your life. And if you got to get help to do that, then that's what you do. You go get help to do that. Go get the help that you need to heal. So the people that love you and support you don't end up taking the brunt of the anger that you feel or the hurt that you feel, because the person who actually is the nexus or the creator of the hurt has walked away like nothing ever happened. And we see it all the time. We hurt the ones that are closest to us, even if they're not the ones that hurt us. We got to stop that. We got to stop that. Whatever we need to do to facilitate healing in our life is our responsibility. It was my responsibility to go get the help that I needed. And that's what I did. It wasn't easy. It hurt. But I had a responsibility as a grown woman to do my grown woman healing. So as we end tonight's episode of Fridays by the Fire, I want to leave you with an affirmation. And I just want you to say this with me, either out loud or in your mind. Say, I am healed, even if they never see it. I am free, even if they never acknowledge it. I am done reliving pain just to be understood. I do not need to revisit the fire to prove I survived the flames. I'm going to say that affirmation one more time. I am healed, even if they never see it. I am free, even if they never acknowledge it. I am done reliving pain just to be understood, and I do not need to revisit the fire to prove I survived the flames. You don't have to sit in rooms that smell like smoke just to prove you made it out of the fire. Oh, if only I had learned this in my 20s. Child. Woo. Hopefully, somebody in their 20s is listening tonight and they can get this lesson a lot sooner than I did. Sis, you don't have to break yourself open again and again for people who weren't careful with you the first time. When they show you who they are, come on, Dr. Angelou, believe them the first time. Healing is not a performance. It's a promise. And you, my sister friend, you are the living evidence. Amen and amen. I'm Sandi Best Life Jones, and I'll see you next Friday right here by the fire. God bless.